Hello, I'm Harold Metzel, founder of 10 Talent Stewardship, where we show you how to develop legacy giving in your church using bequests, planned giving, and endowment building. In November of 2014, Dave Ramsey hosted the first Stewardship Conference for pastors, where over 250 pastors attended. And a section of that program included a dialogue with Chris Gouillard and Gunnar Johnson, both of whom are full-time stewardship pastors at Saddleback and Gateway Church, respectively. Now, when asked to share his background, Gunnar explained that for 5 or 6 years before it became a staff position, he led the stewardship ministry as a volunteer. As he owned his own construction company, that meant he'd have to hurry home, shower, change clothes, and then go serve at the church. But he said after Pastor Robert preached his series on the blessed life, he began receiving calls from many other churches asking him to help them. And so that's what I was first tasked to do, he said. And now every year I work with about 300 to 400 churches. But he said, that's just one job. My job primarily at the church, he said, is to influence the culture and to teach the teachers. You see, after the growth in the church that came from Robert's teaching, we had 580 people waiting to go through Crown's financial small groups. Now, the material was fantastic, but we needed to find 55 homes to host those small groups and 110 leaders for those groups. So the challenge was, how do we find those leaders? Now, Gunnar admitted he couldn't do all that by himself. What he found, however, was that God had already placed and called people in the church to that ministry. So his role was to identify those leaders and then put together the needed training to teach them. They've now been following that process, he said, for about the last 9 years. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Now, if you'd like more insights from Gunnar and Chris and other stewardship leaders that spoke at that conference, check out the other blogs in this series. And then come on over to our LinkedIn group for pastors. Let's discuss these topics.